and miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why there is no such coaching program like my coaching program, and nobody spends as much time with and on their clients like I do. All the information for me is below if you're looking for a coach who has done it for a long time. I've done it for 8 years, 7 years off of YouTube, and close to 2 years now on YouTube, a year and a half. I was asked to coach. I wasn't originally going to coach on YouTube, but people kept asking, and I started introducing the way that I coach people outside YouTube on YouTube. And so my program is one of a kind. If you're looking for somebody who can revolutionize your life and not skip from one coach to another, if you're tired of the same old situation that you've got going on, I can definitely help you. You can book first an hour session, and I can apply that hour session towards any coaching package that you can choose from the many versions of the same coaching program. Essentially, it depends on your personality, whether that's audio exchange, whether that's Zoom sessions or telephone sessions. Okay, so all the information will be directly below. So this is a live that I do. I think I will do these twice a week. It's just easier for me. It records right away. I don't have to wait for it to load. I might just be doing them on Tuesdays and Saturdays. I would do normally on Saturdays, but I think I will do Tuesdays and Saturdays so that you can get your questions answered live. This hour works well for me. Okay, so let me know in the comments what you guys think, what time is best for you. Today is Tuesday, it's 8:30. This is a really good time for me. Usually my last appointment, it just ended. So this is a good time for me, but let me know what works for you. And if I can, I will accommodate it. If not, then, schedule a session with me. It's always best to schedule a session because it gets more personable. You get to tell me about your situation in specifics rather than doing this. But this is just I give my subscribers and, people who are listening in an opportunity to ask me questions live and get a little bit a sense of what I'm about and how I would coach you, okay? And then you would get into coaching with me, which I recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me, okay? So I'm here for you. Hold on one second. So if you have any questions, just type them below, obviously. But I came prepared with a subject as I normally do, and that is becoming a celebrity of your life. So I was actually going to record this, but then I thought, why not make a live session out of this? I was going to record an audio, which I normally record. This is how I started my channel with audios, okay? And I really love that because that's how I coached. That's how I started out coaching my clients off YouTube. And they were all, in the entertainment business, and thus their schedules were completely nuts. So it just worked really well to exchange audio messages rather than getting on Zoom or getting on the call. Of course, we will do that in between, but it just works really well for somebody whose schedule is really crazy or works late at night, etc., etc. Okay. And so that's how I started out. In parentheses here, if you comment below which kind of form of I've tried recently several things. I've tried making a nice collage of a video, it took me, my assistant and I, took me a little bit of time. I don't particularly enjoy that form. I'm more drawn to expressing myself freely, which is why I like live so much. And I also like to record audios because, yes, I do script some things. Like today, I have my notes, but this is just an idea. And most of what you hear on my channel is that I'm channeling, all right? So I get an idea, and in the moment, whatever comes through, I just talk about it, and that's how I how it works for me, has always worked for me, especially in coaching, right? So in particular with coaching clients, when I start talking to them, something comes over me, and sometimes I don't even remember what I say, okay? And I have to rewatch like the Zoom session tape or the re-listen to the conversation, which I do normally anyway. But when I re-listen to it, I literally, oh, I don't remember that I even said that. So I mostly channel, like 90% of this is totally channeled. My human brain receives ideas that will be probably very interesting for you to talk about and this and that. A lot of people ask me to talk about SPs, for example, when I first started this channel. So I kind of got into talking about it because a lot of people make it too complicated and too complex. And so today's subject is becoming a celebrity of your life. And I really was thinking about this idea, okay, that when you are manifesting anything in your life, whether you're manifesting back an SP or whether you're manifesting something that isn't in your life or has never been in your life, for those of you who have been on my channel, for those who are new, by the way, subscribe. You're going to learn a ton on this channel where you're not going to learn it anywhere else. True story. You're going to thank me later. I'm a big proponent of becoming a different person. This is how you manifest most effortlessly and you manifest permanently. Because a lot of people are into these things like affirmations and this and that. Listen, don't get me wrong. I actually meant to discuss this here as well. And I discussed this in my last audio. But basically, sorry for the sirens. Live in New York. Can do nothing about it. Most people misuse it. Most people misuse a lot of things in the manifestational community. I really hate to say it, which is what actually prompted me to talk about SPs and what actually prompted me to start this channel in the first place. I was very happy with my coaching practice of YouTube. Let me tell you that. But the thing is, you have to become a brand new person yourself. And so if you're one of these people, right, who is desperate right now, who is feeling sad, who is feeling some type of way, you are not in a position to manifest anything that you want. I hate to break it to you. Okay, this is just the truth. That's another thing. I'm a very truthful coach. If you don't like the truth, you're not ready for change. I'm sorry. I am not one of these blueberry pie, bubblegum pink, blonde haired manifestation coaches who are like copy and pasting the same shit to every client. This is not me. First of all, my coaching is custom made for every single client because, I mean, certain things are the same, but I literally custom tailor it to every single client because everybody's fucking different, obviously. And I curse in my coaching. Welcome. Welcome to Anna's Club. So just like I did right now, not to offend anybody or anything like that, but just to emphasize something. And so it's important to understand that you need to become that person in order to attract that something. In other words, if you want a high value version of your SP, if you want to change your SP, if you want for them to behave differently, if you want for them to come back to you and apologize, if you want to nail that job that you've been looking at or start that company, make billions of dollars, whatever, millions or billions of dollars, etc., you need to be that high value person first. So what are you doing about that, right? And so some people say, parenthesis here, really also needed to kind of mention this. Some people say to me, your coaching costs too much. First of all, are you joking? Look around and see for yourself what coaches that don't even talk to you as often as I do charge. I talk to my clients 2 to 3 times per week. Okay, so let's start with that. So there are coaches that are charged way more, like quintuple the amount that I charge, and don't even spend nearly as much time with you as I do. That's one. Two is I charge my fee outside YouTube is literally quintuple what I charge on YouTube. I literally made a discount for the YouTube people because I was conscientious of the fact that, not everybody will be able to afford it, but people could put it together, understanding that it's an investment in themselves, and thus really treating it as an investment. Listen, you need to show up to work. I can teach you everything I know and I have in my toolbox, but you need to show up to work and you need to be open to suggestion. You need to be wide open. And the people who are, which are like 99% of the time of the clients, both, I mean, off YouTube, it's no question because it's a word of mouth kind of like situation by now with me. And I've coached everybody. I mean, people, millionaires, okay. I've coached celebrities, famous people. So no resistance whatsoever because going in, you know that this is a coaching situation. So if you are argumentative or you don't want to change, I guess you're happy where you are. Flame Clips says hi. Hi. I'm here for questions. Make sure you're in the right spot. Flame XXX Clips. Hilarious. And so if you don't understand that you need to invest in yourself, I'm sorry, I can't help you, okay? If somebody told me 15 years ago when I first was looking for a good coach that resonated with me, that if you do what I say, you're going to succeed, I would be like, where do I sign? It's literally not available, the kind of work that I do. And I'm not even bragging, it's just the truth, right? It's just the truth. And all the information will be on my website. You can read about my packages, this, that, and the other. But I'm literally like doing everything I can so that you can take advantage of this possibility. Because let me tell you something, I won't be coaching forever. Like I will not be on YouTube forever. I've got plans, okay? I'm working on my own like personal situations. But I really derive a lot of joy out of coaching people. It's true story. I adore my clients, especially the ones that literally understand what coaching is about, which is what I just say. Don't rebuttal me. It's in my coaching agreement and show up to ready to work. And so the idea then becomes, are you ready to become a high value person? Are you ready to change? Because it's not like, oh, the outside has to change and then I will feel better. It's the other way around. If you take away just one thing from this message, literally take this away. You need to change from the inside, and then the outside reflects it back to you. And it shows up in everything. That SP, specific person, for those who don't know, that money that you were waiting for all this time, that position that you were waiting for to show up and to open up to you, whatever, I don't care. You wanted to get pregnant, you wanted to get that house, whatever the fuck you want. Comment below what you're manifesting right now, everybody who's watching, by the way. Maria says, hello Anna, I'm a big fan of yours. Thank you for all your I don't know, you're welcome for whatever I did for you. You're welcome. For all you offer us. Oh, thank you. Thank you for appreciating it, and you're welcome. It gives me joy too. And so you yourself have to become a high value individual so that this situation gets attracted to you. Right? So how much sense does it make? Like, look at this. Look at how ridiculous this shit is, right? You're crying. It's just hypothetical example. Please don't get obsessed over it or whatever. Or don't get upset, rather, if that's not you. You're crying, you're sad, you're depressed, you're yearning for your SP, you're angry maybe at them, with them, you're resentful, you're maybe angry at yourself for the things you did or did not do, or bada-bada-bada-bada. And so now in this position, you're supposed to manifest them back? No. Number one, watching YouTube videos isn't going to help you. Literally not. And how I know this is that I did my research before I started talking about this subject on my YouTube. I wanted to, first of all, I didn't know it was a thing. I really literally didn't know it was such a huge thing. Truth. Okay. Once I looked at what was out there, it was so much misinformation. And because to me, it was like so simple, like, right? Because I think people mistake it for being difficult because it's another person. Seems like it's a separate person outside of you. But it's not. It's part of your universe. It has nothing to do with being narcissistic. It's nothing to do with being demonic or whatever. Like, I've heard it all on my channel. Like, some people commented that like they were extracting demons out of me or something. It was hilarious. I'm like, no, I think you need a mental health professional. That's what you need. Sorry, one second. Maria says, greetings from Greece. Well, I kind of figured by the way that your letters are. I do have Greek friends, so I know that you're from Greece. But yes, hello. I have clients from Greece too. I have clients from everywhere. Literally around the world. So nice to be able to say that. I feel like it's like a big family. Um, so you need to position yourself where you understand that in order for you to literally magnetize this person right back to you, it's very simple. No need to watch a million YouTube videos, just like I said, but what needs to change is your energy. Nobody's going to, nothing good is going to magnetize back into your life if you're desperate. Let's put it this way. I'll make it easy. You want a high value person, whether that's an USP or a version of an USP, become yourself high value. Start that business you were sitting on the idea of. Go to the gym, work out, get your diet, straight, get your wardrobe situated, do whatever you need to do. Okay, get your money situated, get your everything situated. Literally revolutionize yourself. Crying in the corner and lamenting about how things are isn't going to change anything. Just even from the standpoint of view of like, forget manifestation for a second, right? Just from the standpoint of view of just everyday life, what are you doing by feeling sorry for yourself instead of acting on it, right? And if your SP came back right here, right now, what would they be faced with? Some kind of a crying person in the corner? How attractive. Not. You need to literally show yourself who you really are. In my coaching, I do this day in and day out, where it's like you got sidetracked by things that came up. Usually the SP brings out things in you, some insecurities, some fears, etc., because you're afraid to lose them, or you have, basically relationship situations that didn't work out before, and now you're scared that they're not going to work out again. It's some kind of a blockage that you have, okay, with relationships in particular. It's common, people have them, okay, but you need to work that out first and then start welcoming back your SP. Because otherwise, even if they can come back right now without you having done the work, it's going to be the same shit show all over again. And I'm sure that's not what you want. Okay? The problem arose in the first place because you were not completely the person that you want to be right now. You're already that person. You just don't understand it yet. Your belief system needs to change to that of, I am a high value person. I am the creator of my reality. I'm the golden Buddha. What I say goes. But if you're not confident enough to say this right now, if you don't love yourself, if you don't have your life together, how on earth are you supposed to attract your SP back? A version that you really like. Don't worry, I'll wait. It's not going to happen. Not in a million years. And so you need to become this person that starts with themselves, invests in themselves, works on themselves. Again, not in a narcissistic way, but in a very conscientious way of how things actually work in the universe. You have nothing to give to anybody unless you have worked on yourself. You have nothing to manifest that's going to be of value if you don't feel yourself valuable. It's going to be a replica of what you've got going on inside. True or untrue, when you get up in a crappy mood, I'll make this very easy, excuse me. You wake up in a crappy mood, what kinds of experiences do you usually have? Crappy, okay. Unless you change your mind and you decide to have a great day just by decision alone, and you say, no, no matter what, even if I had like some bad dream or whatever, even yesterday sucked and this and that and the other, I am going to decide to have a great day. And I'm going to meditate. I'm going to focus on the things I'm grateful for. I'm going to go into coaching with Anna. La 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 la. I'm going to have a fantastic day. I literally am going to create my day on purpose. But it isn't going to happen unless you decide it, right? And so, in the same manner, you get to decide to invest in yourself every single day, every single day, every single day. And then you are really begin to understand how it really works. That everything is just like energy is coming out of you. You're like commanding, it's kind of like, seriously, the invisible internet, as I usually discuss on my channel, where you're literally commanding the room. You need to set the tone for every relationship. You need to set the tone for the day. You need to set the tone for your money. You need to set the tone for whatever, the weight loss and the this and the that, whatever it is you're working on. You need to do that. Nobody's going to come and help you. Okay, newsflash. Alfonso Alvarez. Oh, hi. How are you? My memory is really good. That I remember everybody in my coaching and all their details and names from my channel. Trying to manifest my woman back since 2 years ago, he says. In the process, I made millions and manifested my current SP, who I had met only once back in 2001. What else to do other than know my woman is mine? Well, if you're with this person, then how are you supposed to manifest the other person? I'm a little bit confused. You don't have room for the other person. Not sure what to say here. Gotta get more details on that. But yeah, thank you for the question. If you're with somebody else, there's no room. It's kind of like, it's like when you're legally married still to a person and you're trying to manifest somebody to propose to you. You need to first to get divorced with this other person and then, expect a proposal. That would be logical. Otherwise, there's no room. Anyway, so you answer my question. How are you supposed to manifest your real love? I'm assuming, versus the current stand-in. I don't know. Sorry. And so the other component is that this new version of you, this high value version of you, it needs to be that you don't settle. Okay, you don't settle for shit, for anything. Not in your career, not in your physical attributes. Do what you can, okay, every single day towards the goal of your dreams. Settling, it's like selling yourself short, essentially. You're selling yourself short for no good reason when you actually can have everything you want. When you say, oh, just give me this little thing over here that I can buy into, when you can actually have the whole kind of cake, you're not playing the full game. I don't know how else to say it. You're selling yourself short and it looks fucking weird, if you want to know the truth. Okay, there are people in my coaching that I literally see right through them, okay? And I'm like, I wish you saw what I see. I mean, by the end of the coaching, I'm usually able to explain that to them. But the potential is there, staring in the face. So there's never a reason for you to sell yourself short. You need to accomplish what you set out to accomplish, what you're dreaming of, what excites you the most, the authenticity of it. That's what's going to really make you happy. And it's yours already anyway, because it's a desire and there's no one-way desire. Alfonso says, good question. Okay, so make room for her, huh? Well, duh. He's like, shit, I was alone for like 2 years. Boo-hoo. Listen, decisions are necessary, right? You're a long time listener to my channel. I remember that. You're gonna have to make decisions. How are you supposed, I don't understand. It's like, if you're buying a new couch for your living room, don't you have to get rid of the old one? Yeah. In fact, that's how you manifest fastest, right? It's a well-known fact. Oh, parenthesis here. Here's an example. Okay. It's not exactly kind of like the same, but kind of sort of. The faith in your manifestation that you should have. I already discussed this on my channel, but I'm gonna do it again because I think it's like so good, such a good example. How to jump parallel realities and how to attract your manifestation like super quick, right? So before I bought my house, I used to live in an apartment and I wanted a house with fireplaces, right? And in order to have if you have a fireplace, rather, you need to have wood, burning wood. And so what I did for like 9 fucking months, okay, was I bought the bundle of wood and I had it on display for 9 months. Like a lunatic. People would come over like, Anna, what the fuck is this for? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's just, I would just say something like, it's for decoration, you know? And 9 months later, like clockwork, I found my place with fireplaces. Now, for other people, I was a lunatic for 9 months, but I didn't give a shit. I was connecting to the parallel reality in which I'm going to need that bundle of wood, all right? Or, for example, in my coaching, I tell sometimes ladies to either imagine or for real, get an engagement ring. Maybe like not a real engagement ring, but something that looks like an engagement ring, or at least visualize an engagement ring. And think about this, or think of the wedding day, but something that would connect you to that parallel reality. Or if you're buying a house, visualize that key or buy a key that would symbolize that this is your house. I've done this so many different ways. Like, if you wanted some kind of situation to occur, you literally need to make a representation that you're ready for it. I'm ready. I'm ready. That's it. I'm ready, and I'm showing the faith in my manifestation by making room for it. Getting an engagement ring. I've heard so many different things in my coaching where it's like literally when you're doing something on purpose, demonstrating the faith in your ability to create, in the universe conspiring in your favor, things happen overnight, literally overnight. So yes, I hope this made sense. So job number 1, this is what I would say. Like, when I looked, my first impression, okay, when I first researched what was out there on the internet, and I'm going to get into affirmations because I think it needs to be, there are a couple of other things that I wanted to say from last night, is that they're focusing on most of the coaches out there, and I do this on purpose because I don't think most of them know anything about coaching. If they're talking the way that they're talking, it literally, okay, here's why. It literally feels to me that the majority of them took something from someone like Neville Goddard or whoever and said to themselves, okay, what is going to be my niche? What am I going to be known for? Okay, whether that's affirmations, the robotic affirmations, or it's going to be quantum leaping and this and that and the other. To me, honestly, that's alarming. When you go into these kind of like, when you're making a technique your trademark, it gives me pause, because the reality of things is not, a technique should never be your trademark. Your situation needs to be, do you understand people? Do you understand how to change people, to help them change, rather? Do you understand that the change doesn't happen overnight and it doesn't happen with a technique? Okay. And that you need to look at the big picture, and literally what you're, as a coach, what you should be good at is listening. Okay, that's one. You need to be listening and connecting the dots. And if you're very good at what you do, within a few sessions, if not one session, like in my case, you already know what the problem is. You just need to bring this person along, because I realized, for example, not for nothing, I realized that I'm a stranger. And so there are times when, it takes a few sessions for the client to get comfortable. And so I'm not going to right away, like, tell you exactly what I already know, okay? And it might sound presumptuous to you, but I already know it because I've done it long enough. And so my job then is to show you what you need to change. And if you're willing, you're going to come aboard on this journey. And it is not about an affirmation, it is not about a technique. You can study those techniques. At the end of my coaching, we do this, but the majority of the focus really should be you, your story, your particular story. No fucking affirmation under the sun is going to give you the success that you seek if you truly spend time on understanding yourself with a professional. It's going to be effortless to you. It's going to seem so effortless if this person knows what the fuck they're doing. If it feels hard, if you feel frustrated, if it feels like there's a lot of work to do and you can't get around to it, either you're not doing what the coach is suggesting, or the coach doesn't know what they're doing. And if you're not doing what the coach is suggesting, well, I've had that in my care, in those clients in my care, and sometimes I can't really say anything bad about that. It's a choice. Okay, I showed up, I delivered. Now it's up to you. Okay, let me just really quick read what Alfonso says before I get carried away. We're already half hour into this. Excuse me. Alfonso says, I understand, thank you. I guess I just got fed up after 2 years. Yeah, you know what? Here's the deal. If you really want this person, 2 years is not a deal breaker. But if it is, then you don't really want that person. Okay, I've had people in my coaching who've manifested their SPs like 6 and 10 years later, 12 years later. So 2 years, come on, give me a break. And to me, I don't know what happened between you two, but the reason it did take that long is because you were not committed to that manifestation. And that's okay, but it wasn't because the manifestation wasn't coming anyway, okay? You delayed it. Okay, Maria says, I've been in a relationship with my SP for about 6 months now. It has been great so far. He treats me really nice. Even a third party from his past disappeared in no time. Thank you for sharing. That's wonderful. What is your question? We're here for questions, Maria. I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. If you have a problem. Oh, here we go. However, she says, there are things I wish he would do, like spend the night with me more often. Okay. Why don't you tell him? Spend the night. Why is that a problem? Just ask him to spend the night. Listen, if that's your only problem, you're doing rather well. Anyway, Literally, I've dealt with everything in my coaching, like the most, what would seem improbable circumstances. This is child's play. Totally. I mean, people get married to other people. People don't see each other for like years. Um, all sorts of shit, all sorts of situations. So this is nothing. I think the idea is to just make the decision, whatever it is you're manifesting. Decisions are really necessary, and you need to show up as a different individual. So you cannot be impatient, you cannot be, right? So if I'm deciding to manifest somebody back or manifest contact with them, like today it would happen instantaneously, right? But if you have a lot of resistance towards that, is because either you don't believe that you can do it, or there's some kind of resistance there. There must be either resentment, either you not feeling worthy of it, some kind of situation, some kind of a emotional blockage. It usually, that's what it really comes down to. Sorry, 1 second. I don't want to go into the bathroom, get my makeup. Alfonso says, I know you're right. I delayed it. I had way too much resistance and anger. Well, here we go. Here we are, superstar. I hadn't let go of the old story with her and with my life. You're right. Yeah. Well, now you know. And so you kind of like, that's so common though. That's what people do to themselves all day long. And they think that like watching 500 million YouTube videos will take their anger away. I'm sorry. I mean, you have to agree. It's really funny, right? When you think about it this way, because it's always you. And so you're angry, right? So this is how comical this whole situation is. And please don't take it the wrong way, but it's kind of like, well, you're angry. You're the one who's producing this result. And yet you're pissed off it's taking a long time. Well, duh. I love it. I love my job. I love my work. It's not really a job. I don't really like the name, the word job, but yeah. So going back to setting the tone for the new relationship, for the literally top to bottom. So let's just take Alfonso's example as an example. This would be, I mean, the money is okay with you, so that's usually, it's either one or the other thing, either the money or the relationship, or sometimes both. But with you, it's, the relationship. So you have a hang up of some kind. Maybe that's not the first girl that kind of did something that pissed you off or whatever the trauma panorama is, right? And so if you're waiting for this person, excuse me, as counterintuitive as that sounds, hear me out, because I know I've done this in my life. I've done this with other people, meaning my clients, meaning they've done it in their lives. I've instructed them. If you're waiting for this person to show up, right, and apologize to you before you let go of the anger, you're going to be waiting forever. You're going to be waiting forever. Your job is to figure out why you manifested this version and no other version. Because it's your life, it's your reality. You manifested this version to show yourself that you have something left to process. Very useful information. And so becoming a higher value individual, right? This is like the theme of today's live, today's video, whatever it is to literally choose to process it and let go. In either case, whether you want this person back or not, it's for your own good. Why? Because if you want this person back, they'll show up differently when they come back. And if you don't want them back, the next person who will show up will not carry it over. Okay, how many of you, okay, have had the same fucking relationship over and over until you stopped and realized, holy shit, bananas, they're like identical. It's always the same fucking scenario, whether it's like the third party or they're lying or they're doing this, that, and the other, okay? There's something going on that you haven't checked off your list of processing. Okay, and everybody, listen, everybody's a masterpiece in process. So there's no like, I'm doing something wrong, but you always need to go back and look, okay, how did I create this? How did I create, like, I know for sure how I created every single one of my SPs. I do. Even though, we don't like to admit to ourselves that we are the creators of it all. But you know exactly what kind of mood you were in. You know exactly what kind of drama was going on in your life. You know exactly what you were pissed off at that moment. Okay? Like for me, for example, I know for a fact, okay, I'm going to be a little bit personal, but not too much. um, when I discussed that I had a falling out with my current SP, but it was during the time that I was getting divorced from another person who wouldn't give me the divorce for like forever, for years. I was really fucking irritated. I'm like, hello, like, let's go already, right? And I was like really kind of like annoyed about it. And so in the middle of it, the situation happened with my current SP where, he didn't tell me something that I would have loved to know, and that really kind of like discombobulated me. So you see, you always know how you're creating it. So as long as you're being honest about, which is why honesty is like the number one key. And if your coach is honest with you about where the problem lies, you should thank them. All right. And not that that's a problem in my coach. I think 99% of the people who come into my coaching truly fucking get it, and love that about me. Okay. But once in a while, there's a person who takes it real personal, and I just don't get it. Okay, Alfonso, bingo, yes. Neville mentioned that amnesty for all is necessary to be able to manifest. Well, I would say it's not really amnesty, it's just kind of parting with that part of you. Processing and parting, right? Changing it in your mind. There's some kind of residual of the past, it has to be. Right? So processing it and parting with it, parting with the old self. Because this is the conversation. You need to become the new self in order to bring about new circumstances. Right? So if you're SP, Alfonso, not to make this live about you, but whatever. If anybody else here has a question, you guys need to comment. Otherwise, I will not be able to answer it, obviously, because I'm not like a mind reader just yet. What was I? Okay, here we are. Oh, if your ex showed up today, Alfonso, you still have this anger. This is why she's not here. You still have this anger. So this would not be a good combination. So if I were you, I would work on that. And I don't know, has this anger shown up in your current relationship? Question. That would be interesting to know. But in any case, I would definitely look at that, because you might benefit from letting go of that anyway. So focus on what you're bringing into your reality. If I was, again, I start and then I deviate. This is the number one, the best out of everything. So this is what I started, and let me just like put the shit in, because before I forgot and veered off. When I looked at what was out there with all the coaches and this and that and the other, most of them are full of shit. Okay, let's just be real here. Why? Because honestly, not for nothing, but a lot of people get into it for the money only. I already discussed this. It's okay to make money. I love money. It's just that, do you really provide a service to the people? Okay. And so what I would say is that techniques, affirmations, bullshit. You need to focus on the person, the kind of energy they radiate out into the universe. If they're miserable, you need to find out why, what they need to change about themselves in order to be happy on their own, not with or without this SP. Okay, they need to really understand that what they're doing with their own life is what is going to matter the most. Okay, and the kind of vibrations that they're sending out into the quantum field is what's going to actually bring this SP back. Not only bring them back, but stay, make them stay permanently. Not just like, hey, how are you? I was checking in on you. No, fuck that shit. How are you, my ass? No, they need to come back and apologize if they've got apologizing to do, lick gem off your toes, surprise you with like gifts and shit, whatever the fuck they need to do to make things right. Okay, if they misbehaved, and I'm assuming in these situations usually it's some kind of like, you know, you've been left behind, you've been cheated on, lied on, and blah 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 blah. Okay, that's what needs to happen. But in order for you to even fathom you can manifest that shit, your energy profoundly has to change. And the universe gets that message like, whoa, this person was miserable, insecure, was crying at night and blaming themselves and do. And all of a sudden, they're a brand new person. Of course, the universe is going to reflect it back to you. Of course, your SPs, even if they're on the motherfucking moon, okay, they're going to telepathically get this energy, okay? And start wondering, what the fuck did I miss? This person is a completely different person that I thought. Maybe they start checking up on you on social media. Maybe they even like literally stalk you, okay? Maybe whatever. But energetically, they will get that message because you, first of all, you're not going to chase them anymore if you've been doing that. You're not going to be crying or desperate about them anymore. You're going to be like, excuse me, this is my life. I'm a high value person. You'd be lucky to have me in your life. And with or without you, I am fucking spectacular, my darling. Not like, oh, please come back and then my life will be complete. Fuck that shit. Who wants that type of person? Do you want that kind of person? Like, imagine the roles being reversed for once. I would be like, you need help, okay? I would be so completely unattracted towards that. Okay, back to Alfonso. Kind of, but not at her directly. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you need to somehow do that. So if you need my help, I'm here. You know where to find me. Yeah, anger is a very anger is a real motherfucker. And a very misunderstood emotion by most people, because it's like society teaches you that anger is like to be frowned upon, where it's, to me, it's completely justified. If somebody does something to you that you perceived as disrespectful or uncalled for and this, that, and the other, yeah, I mean, you're entitled to your fucking anger. That's it. And again, if you're taught growing up that no, put a smile on your face, be nice, this and that, anger completely contradicts this. And yet, you need to acknowledge all parts of yourself, that sometimes you're going to be angry. And a wonderful thing happens when you allow yourself to do that, is that you don't carry it over. You get to process it like right away. You get to be with it rather than shoving it down. And I do this in my coaching like all the time, okay? Processing the emotions that have been lingering like for so long, being pushed down, whether that's resentment, whether that's anger, whether that's whatever it is, loneliness, things like that. People hold on to it for dear life. Why you do that, I don't know. It needs to be that because people are just so uncomfortable of these emotions, they're scared of them. But it needs to be that this is just a part of life. But so to hold on to it is a big mistake. You just need to let it pass through you. And if you do this on a regular basis, it's going to be, you're going to feel much cleaner inside and much healthier, emotionally speaking. Maria says, it might not sound that important, but I have asked him to spend the night more often, but says he sleeps better on his own. Okay. And that kind of hurts my feelings. I take it personally. No, don't take it personally. Change that in your mind. Change it. Change what he said to you, that he sleeps better without you. No, now you can't sleep without me. Literally. Do some white witching on him. You can't sleep without me. Literally. If I'm not around, you can't sleep. That's it. And by the way, before somebody pops out of the Jesus community, religious community, listen, I'm all for the Bible, by the way, right? So I love Joel Osteen. I do quote Bible on my channel and this and that. I just don't take it literally. All right. The meaning is not literal. So, and also manifesting is what precisely we're put on earth to do. Okay. It isn't witchcraft. It's maneuvering of energy. So if you wanted to create a better outcome for you that wouldn't make you miserable, the universe wants you to do it. God wants you to do it. We're here all imitators of God. Anyway, that's what we're kind of born to do. This is what we're studying to do. This is the best kind of school that you could possibly imagine. Earth is. So, all right. Anybody else with the questions on the topic or off topic? Excuse me. Gotta get so thirsty when I talk so much. Excuse me. Okay. Hold on, I'm checking my notes. Just think about what it would feel like to be that person. The person who doesn't fret about anything. Becoming the celebrity of your life is literally things just come to you. Because you're an important individual. You have a renewed sense of your worth, your identity. A renewed sense of what you could possibly achieve. And you see other people do it all day long, so why not you? No reason other than you believe something about yourself that maybe your parents taught you, maybe whatever. Somebody said something to you, bought into it, but that's it. And I think at some point, if you work on this, it will really dawn on you. And it really dawned on me in the process of me working on myself, when I started 15 years ago, that, wow, all it takes is a decision. All it takes is a decision. And all it really takes is, kind of like examining what you were believing before. And if you look closely, none of it makes sense, especially if it makes you feel horrible about yourself. Because somebody might have told you in childhood or some time along the way growing up, that you're not able to do something, you're not worthy of this, that, and the other. This is not how we do things, and this and any other. And you were like, okay, well, just like you said okay to that, you can also say no, fuck no. I am my own person. I get to decide how things go in my reality. Okay? And I can speak from my own experience, because let me tell you something. Russians, okay, and for those of you new joining in, I'm Russian American. Russians are the worst with this kind of mentality of like doom and gloom. Like seriously though, really just like the worst kinds of ideas, like completely backed up by nothing. Okay, something that somebody said and everybody kind of like repeats it. And intuitively knew that that cannot possibly be true because I see other people doing other things. And so you can do the same for yourself. Start questioning things. Why do I have to work so hard for my manifestations to come true? Clearly because I'm not fully buying into the notion that it should be easy for me, just like for other people. It should be easy for me to manifest. Like I'm talking about, jokingly about witchcraft and this and that, but it isn't really witchcraft. It's really just a matter of really understanding who you are and that you get to choose what you get to manifest, however you want it to get manifested in your life. It's up to you. And nobody, no family of yours can stop you from doing that. No ex of yours, however horrible they were to you, can stop you from doing that. In fact, I think that would be, well, in my case, I used it as fuel for like, oh yeah, you said I couldn't do it. Okay, I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to do it and take pictures and send it to you. Okay, and shut you up. Because everything is possible. Whenever somebody tells you something is impossible, or if you feel something is impossible, it's usually a lie. It's usually a lie. It has to do with your belief system. So, if you want to manifest your SP back, if you want to manifest millions of dollars or $1 million or whatever the fuck it is, okay, that you're working on, you need to ask yourself this very simple question. Who would I be? What kind of a person would I be if I had this version of this SP? What kind of a person would I be so that this SP shows up exactly as I want them to? What kind of a what am I going to project out? Am I going to project out insecurity or fear, or am I going to project out complete confidence, rooted in the ground for eternity? Okay, like a Central Park oak tree. I love this analogy. And a lot of my clients do too. I am going to be completely confident. You can't sway me. I've decided. The 3D can't sway me. No Mama Drama Panorama can sway me. No memories can sway me. No past experiences can sway me. Nothing. My decision is gold. My decision is king in my reality. So you guys over there, Mama Drama Panorama, your family, your friends, whoever, you can continue talking like you talk. And parenthesis here, when you elevate yourself, you change friends. That happened to me a couple of times in my life. Because not everybody's going to be happy for you, surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly. And not everybody will understand you. Everybody wants you to be on their level. So when you all of a sudden start manifesting shit, and parenthesis here really quick, when you do become that high value person, you need to check back in with yourself if you still really want that person back, that SP back. Very important thing to do, because you might not want them anymore. From that stance, from that point of view of being that person, you might be like, maybe not. It could happen. It had happened in my coaching. It had happened in my life. These, and again, don't idolize anybody. It's just a person. It's just an accessory, like I say. But you might want to ask yourself this question. And if the answer is yes, there's nothing easier than make them think what you want them to think. Nothing easier than make them show up, stalk you, obsess over you, write you fucking pages of letters and this, that, and the other. Nothing easier. The challenging part is always to work yourself up to the level where for you that shit is easy. Because it is. You see what I'm saying? This is the entire live right here. If it seems hard to you to manifest an SP, talking in a different way, or bringing them back and this, that, and the other, you're putting that shit on a pedestal. And that's why it's hard for you. It's like, oh, this will take forever, or this will take this is an insurmountable mountain. No, it isn't. It's like this. What's the center of attention should be is yourself. And perhaps you haven't done this like ever, okay, like ever in your life. And I have clients like this that show up, like literally I can feel their energy, that they have never been shown that they're important, that what they say matters. It exists, and it breaks my heart, but I mean, this is why I enjoy my coaching people so much. I love it because I get to do what I'm going to try hard not to cry, but I get to do what I wish somebody did for me back then, when such a softie. When I wish somebody like snapped me into shape and was like, hello, do you have a mirror? Look how talented you are. Look how wonderful. Because everybody is. Whether they know it or not, you have a gift that is like, whoa, you have something special about you. Whether you know it or not, even the fucking narcissists, okay? They have something really special about them. They just don't fucking know it. And what's worse, they feel like shit about themselves. They don't even think that it's worth examining why they feel like shit. Excuse me. Now I'm going to sneeze. Oh my god. Come on. I guess not. Okay. But everybody has it. And so when you start trusting that, when you start trusting your dreams, first of all, you go with your authenticity, not what pays money, not like, not the job that pays money, not the money stuff. Okay, the money will always be there, but what actually excites you? Okay, what authentically would you be fucking doing with your life if you had everything? Okay, that's my favorite question in my coaching. What would you authentically be doing? Would you still choose that SP? Would you still be doing for work what you're doing for work? If you were this total and complete golden Buddha and the perfect ultimate version of your life, what kind of a life would you have? And work from that. Work from that. And if anything shows up, I mean, it's very hard to do this work on your own. It's literally almost impossible. And yes, I've had help, if you haven't figured out already. I've had a couple of coaches earlier on, but since then, I might say I surpassed them. So anyway, not to brag. Gotta give credit where the credit is due. I figured it out. I don't know. I was very motivated. But it needs to be that you get to look at what it is that is talking to you, telling you, discouraging you from even attempting that perfect version of yourself. Because all of the things that you want are there. So notice how, and I'm going to leave you with this. Notice how this is an all-encompassing situation. This is literally jumping into another parallel reality where you are that version. Now, is it going to be overnight? No, it isn't. This is why I encourage people 2 to 3 months in my coaching, okay? Because gradually, if you commit, okay, this is why I talk to everybody 2 to 3 times per week. This is a good frequency with which you check in with me, and we get to, keep at it. And so in that time, you shifting realities. You're shifting closer and closer to that person that you really want to be. Not that, you've shifted and that's it. The job is done. No. The job is never done. You continue elevating, and after we're done, you keep doing that. Sorry, one sec, I have to. But this is an all-encompassing situation. It's not an affirmation. You can do an affirmation at the end when you've shifted. It's a much easier situation. You can say, okay, let's pick one from my desk. There's so many. Oh, here's one that I really love. I know how the story ends. It's not really, well, I guess it's an affirmation. I know how the story ends. Don't worry about it. I already know. But see, that's not even like an affirmation. That's kind of like a truth that I know. Or I have another one here. Speaking of truth, where is it? Don't accept the untruth. Don't accept the untruth, meaning like I know my truth and I'm not accepting anything else. But you see, I don't have to repeat that shit like, don't accept the untruth, don't accept the untruth. That's fucking cuckoo to me. I'm sorry. I know some of you swear by affirmations, but it's time to wake up and smell the motherfucking coffee, darling. That's not where it's at. You can have these sayings and you can have ideas that you write down, but repeating them all day long, that would drive me crazy. You really need to focus on what is your overall goal, objective, where it is you going. And if you don't believe it in the in the moment, then you get to work on why you don't believe that this is where you actually belong. Because like I said, if you really want to be that person, you're already fucking there. There's a version of you that's already there, because there's no such thing as one-way love. There's no such thing as one-way desire. So if you're not there consciously, if your consciousness is not focused, zeroed in on that parallel reality, you need to really work through some things so that you can arrive at that perfect version of yourself. Okay, I think I got it out of myself. Thank you very much. This is really good. Okay, if anybody else has a question, please ask. Otherwise, I'm going to conclude this. Okay, I guess not. All right, as usual, if you need coaching, all information from me will be below. In just a moment, I will upload this. You can rewatch this. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. So in the beginning, I discussed that I'm probably just going to do lives Tuesday and Saturday. Okay, and for me, it works at better at night. So I'm going to do one at night on Tuesdays. I might actually do it a lot later on Tuesday, maybe like 10-ish, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Saturday, I will do at 3 p.m. for my over the ocean people, for London, Paris, and all these people over there, because they can still kind of like watch me comfortably. Okay, so I hope this works. But anyway, if you need coaching, all the information from me is below. Until next time, ciao, ciao.